Hey everybody, and welcome to another magazine flip through. Today we're going to be flipping through Wargames Illustrated issue 451. This is the July 2025 issue. Now, what we're going to get in this issue, it's actually themed mountains and moors, wargaming in the wild. So yeah, hopefully there's a whole mix of articles in this as well. The cover art is the Battle of Gandamask by Neil Roberts. So we got table of contents, and then we got a subscription. Again, if you haven't subscribed, give it a go if you can afford it. If you don't want abundance of paper in your house, go for the digital as well. Like I said, subscriptions you can get. It helps the magazine. I mean, it helps the magazine grow. It's good for me because there'll be a magazine for me to flip through at some point. It's a win-win situation. All right, so we have observation posts first, and the first thing they cover is Wargames Atlantic. And Wargames Atlantic just released the Mounted Sergeants, the Knights, and the Decals, which they're new releases for the month. And Wargames Atlantic seems to be powering on, not stopping. They seem to be having new releases almost every month. Some really exciting stuff coming out all throughout the year. And which is great because their catalog seems to be quite varied. But the good bit is, like I said, it's varied. The bad bit is it's coming every month. So how much money can you expend? As much as you can afford, they would say. All right, next up, there's the North Star military figures, musket and tomahawks, British Dragoons. And then we have the Great Escape Games Mounted Gunfighters 2, which basically are the female mounted gunfighters. There is quite a lot of folks in the store who are waiting for this one to arrive in their pull bags. And I myself, I'm quite impressed. It looks like I think you get like 5 figures, if I'm not mistaken, in the set, which I think is fantastic, and all these different options for you to build it. Next up, the World War II Victrix Late War German Infantry. This has proven to be very, very popular. The sculpts are quite nice. And lots of guys at the store who are playing German armies in 20mm have picked this up. And it's great because later in this issue, we're going to see an article for the Victrix Late War German Infantry. Moving along, we've got some terrain here, and this is 3D terrain by Patrick Miniatures. And then we've got war bases with their bits of terrain. And then we got Plastic Soldier. This is 3D stuff. And then Mad Bob Miniatures UK. I did read that wrong. And then you have let me say Mardav Miniatures, Japanese right here. Moving along, we got the AB Miniatures, 18mm miniatures. Whenever I say AB Miniatures, it puts a smile on my face for some strange reason. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing that I don't know whether I should fix it or just let it go. Anyways, moving along, we have Butler's printed models. And what is this? This is AMX F3 155 self-propelled gun. Okay. Now Wargames Atlantic have released tools, and there's a file and a clipper, which is now up for sale. And then there's some books from Helayan. Next up, Stargrave automatons. Oh, the Borgs. It's like, as I would like to call them, are now available for sale. And then Quickfire is basically fan articles, and here we have Ruckus at Partizan. And then we have a nice little commemorative piece, which I thought was really, really nice. It's an attest to the community when one of the when somebody passes on, and they're remembered quite nicely in a magazine of a hobby that they love, which I think is a really nice touch. Moving along, we have a Conflict 47, and this is the new game from not new game, it's an older game, but it seems that there's a new sheen on it called Conflict 47. They've just pushed this one, so if you haven't, you can go and check that out. It's a fantastical historical figures, if I'm not mistaken, or speculative science fiction. Anyways, also from Wallet Games is the launch of the Black Powder Revolution, which is American War of Independence, which I think I think at the end of the book they say this will be one of the frames that we'll get in the next issue, so that's quite exciting. Next up, next up is the Battle of Mons Graupius. Oh God, I hope I said that right. And this is part of the Mountains and More part of the magazine. And in this one, you've got a nice article written by Dr. Steinman Elliott, and it's a good read actually. If you're into docu books, as I like to call them, and Mr. Elliott has released quite a number of books. Let me see now, 20 odd books on history. It's great when you're like, waiting for a bus or waiting for a train or commuting. It's one of those articles which you can be sure you're gonna learn something from this. Moving along, we got Armored Clash, which is let me see, they got this new thing out. The Imperial will Endure. I think it's something new. I'm not so sure what it is. Or maybe they're asking you to order for Armored Clash. I am not so sure because I haven't really dipped my fingers proper into Armored Clash yet. Soon enough. Moving along, we got painting competition winners, and these are competition winners from Salute 52. I would like to apologize to folks who are waiting for me to do a Salute 52 wrap up, because I was trying to find the winners and stuff like that, and I couldn't find the winners, and I was just so messy that I decided, instead of having a huge headache, I'd just let that pass and try again next year at Salute 53. But let's have a look at the miniatures that won something this year. And you had categories like historical single figure, historical unit, historical figures, historical vehicles, creatures, artillery, and then you got fantasy unit, sci-fi figure. Most of the sci-fi figure very grim dark-y, if you ask me. I'm sure there are other sci-fi figures that can probably push its way up to winning this category at some point. And they got fantasy figures right here, fantasy vehicles, and they got the junior awards. I always like the junior awards because it means new blood. It always means new blood when there's a category for the juniors. And then you've got large scale and bus, and then the Salute 51 figure. Yeah, which is cool. It most of the time when you get the free figure at a convention, it goes into your drawer, not knowing what to do with. But if there's a competition the following year on painting the previous year's figure, that's a great idea. It forces you to take the figure out and paint it. And then you got the miscellaneous category. The winners are online, so there's more list of miniatures to look at. I do recommend going and have a look. Why? Because hey, we this is a hobby. The miniature painting hobby and looking at nice miniatures is just what we do. Next up, advert for the cultural experience, and this time they're centering on the Zulu War. And the next article on the Mountains and More theme is mountain ready basing, and this is basically basecraft. I like to call basecraft. Yeah, teaching you how to do basing, whether it's basic basing or the more elaborate kind of basings, and some ideas, because while the painting levels are getting better and better day by day, I think a lot of time should be given to actual basecraft, making your bases look nice. It's just a thing that I kind of like when I look at it with a figure, that the base turns out quite nice. So it's nice that this article's right here. Then we have Frostgrave. Hey, advanced spellcraft. I did not know this was coming out, so this is kind of exciting. It should be out by now. It says August 2025, maybe towards the end of the month, maybe, perhaps. And this is more spells, which is great for a game built around spellcasters. Right. Moving along is this article right here. Now, if you have a copy of Guards of Traitor Still, or you want to get one, and can I just say that a battle report like this is fantastic. Why? Because it gives you a chance to play the game without, well, playing the game, right? And also, as you're building your army and force, you get some idea on the potential of the game. But what I really like about this article is how they've actually like presented it. It's very, very nice, very, very entertainingly put together, if I may. I'm not going to spoil the report here, but have a read, because at the end of the day, when you're learning a new game, it's always nice to look at how other people play it, especially if you're playing in a vacuum or playing with a bunch of friends without having access to other wargamers. Battle reports are very, very, very important. Advert for Heinz Figures Limited, and then Catastrophe in the Mountains, and I think this is the 1842 Retreat from Kabul. This is part of the earlier, they mentioned something about, yes, The Last Stand at Gandamak. And here it is. This is the article right here. Again, another good read. I think when you a nice mix of hobby articles, historical articles, and scenarios, it's a good formula, I think, for a wargaming magazine, if you ask me. And then you got Rubicon models pushing the World War II scale stuff. This one's worked very, very well for my store. Then you got deep speed paint markers, Deep Cut Studio. I still haven't tried these yet. Maybe at some point soon. Next up, Partisan May 2025, and here are all the tables, the show report for this as well. I want to do a show report for Partisan May 2025, but the thing is, to do show reports, it's kind of difficult, because I'm gonna have to like go through a whole lot of video and cut and edit and cut and edit. I'm not so sure whether anybody's interested in that, but if anybody is, I'm willing to do the work if somebody's interested. But until then, we can just like look at magazines like this that have the report right there. And in things like this, they got the Perry Miniatures doing Valor and Fortitude in Spain, and then all the awards, the different awards that are won, from the Vinays to Wake Island 1922. There's a Midgard game here as well, and all these tables are really, really nice. Why? Because for most of the times when you're building a terrain or you're planning a table, right, the big issue is what to put on it. For those veterans, it's easy, right, because they have a backlog of like different terrain bits. But for a newbie, they want some direction, and magazines like this never go out of style when it comes to like terrain pieces, terrain bits and stuff like that. So magazines like this should be kept, and as reference, or as a look back at what terrain used to look like back in the day. Because I'm telling you, the quality of terrain has changed so much in just like 10 years. Let's not talk about 30 years, okay? 10 years is already a lot. 30 years, it's changed dramatically. Moving along, the new, should I say, can I call it new? Battlefrontgroup.com has the Great War World 1 miniatures game that's coming out. That's interesting. That is definitely interesting. Now, the figure spotlight in this one is the Victrix World War II figures. We had a lot of guys in the store really like this set. And now you have a guide. And this guide comes with the magazine and everything you need to put the force together, or the bag of miniatures together. And if you're new, this will be extremely, extremely helpful. If you've done a few like late war Germans, this article may help. I'm not so sure, but I think making it fit the set helps move the set. It helps give some reference to the newbie, and for the veteran, maybe some options that never thought could be done, especially with this new set. Next up, advert for First Corps, and then Mayhem on the Moor. This is kind of interesting, because as I was looking through the article, they mentioned Games Workshop bought games of his youth. So I was wondering how old were these games, and when I saw it was Talisman and Chainsaw Warriors, like, oh, okay, that's that's games from quite way back. Anyways, what this is they calling this tabletop crawler, so you move across tabletop, you know, with your players each having one figure, if I'm not mistaken. And most of these figures are from the WI miniature range, which I thought was a great way to push the miniatures in that range as well. So this is basically the whole campaign right there, the encounters table and stuff like that. So if you're interested to try something a little bit different, you can give this rules a go. Now, next up is Hobby Talk. That's what it's called, the article bit here. And it's collecting history. Now, I like the way this article was written, and this bit over here, once you've read this, you know, everything else just falls into place, because in this article is written by Kevin Krause, and he tells us the story about how he got into miniatures, and slowly brings you along his journey collecting and painting miniatures, which is a very nice read, actually. A very nice read. I wish it was a bit longer though, but you know, yeah, there you have it. Next up, Chain of Command 2. The second edition is finally out. Two Fetladis are ready with their Chain of Command 2 set rulebook. And this is basically a playthrough, learning what the different rule changes are in Chain of Command 2. Now, if you've played Chain of Command 1, this article will be useful for you. If you haven't, then wait for Chain of Command 2 to come out and just get that one. Next up, this is the Chicago Way. And I like this article for a simple reason that they combined the Chicago Way with new Sarissa miniatures. And I'll show you in a bit how they did it, which is kind of cool. Now, Chicago Way, some guys in the store are playing Chicago Way at the moment, which is cool for me, because, you know, it means I get to, if they invite me over, I get to watch a game. But what was really nice is not only did they give you the what's new in the new edition and stuff like that, right? But they also introduced the different Sarissa terrain bits that you can actually add to your game. I thought it was really nice combining both the terrain, the figures, and the game, right? I mean, for me, if you're gonna push any tabletop, I should say show the miniatures, but it's an added bonus if you show the terrain as well, because, you know, it helps, especially for newbies. I'm always on the side of the newbies when it comes to things like this, and this is very, very helpful as an article. Finally, these are folks who pay the bills so that I can have a magazine in my hand, and you got Hellion here, and then you got North Star here doing it with the Harefoot Jousting, and then you got Art Master Studio, Dixon Miniatures, that's a name I haven't heard in a bit, Dixon Studios, Historicon 2025 as an advert right there, Skytrax, Athena, Gunfighters Ball by Knuckle Duster. I was tempted to get the Lemmy one the last time around. Maybe this, I still can, I suppose. And then you got, let me see now, this is Tumbling Dice. Ooh, Tumbling Dice. And then you got, let me see, what's this? The Battle of, oh, it's called Wargames Convention. Mardev Miniatures. Let me see, what's this? Oh, I can read that. Let me just see if I can read that much closer. Come to me. Oh, splendid scenery. Oh, okay. And then you got Head Bunny Games. And then yeah, here's the advert for the next one. You're gonna get a free AWI Wargames, sorry, American War of Independence frame. You got a few to choose from, which is cool. So let's see what we get when the next magazine turns up. And then you got the Baron's War, barricades in the marketplace. Now the barricades in the marketplace you can actually get from Wargames Atlantic Direct under their accoutrements line, I think, no, not mistaken. But you can also get this from the Baron's War. Now this magazine's a bit like crumpled because I was reading it and I fell asleep. Anyways, you got Gripping Beast at the back page as always. So there you have it. That's Wargames Illustrated 451, a quick flip through. yeah, it's really, it's interesting. It's a lot of reading in this one. Whatever the case is, I hope you like the flip through. Let me know if any of these articles interest you in any way, or if you actually had got the Victrix 28mm infantry set, because I think this is one of the first few 28mm. They only have these ones, right? Victrix, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Any other comments? Leave them in the comment section. Like and subscribe. And don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.